Excel has a feature called Sparklines, which lets you create a visual depiction of values without having to make a full-blown chart. A short definition of a sparkline is an in-cell chart, a chart within a given cell. Looking in columns A and B, there's data there for the first 9 months of the year, and the data is improving, so we'll display this in a single cell by using a sparkline. We insert a sparkline by going to the Insert tab and then choosing one of 3 options under Sparklines. We'll begin with the line option, choose line, and this asks us which data do we want to use. The data range itself will be these cells from B4 to B12. We already selected B13, so that's where the location range is, and the sparkline will appear there. Click OK, then this is a visual depiction of what happened numerically in that time frame. We can make it stand out more if we go to sparkline color, maybe change the color and the thickness by making it twice as thick. We'll zoom in to see it a bit better. When this cell is selected, there is a Design tab in the ribbon. The options to the left under Show allow us to indicate the high point and the low point, and maybe put in markers for all the points. We could also have used a different type of sparkline, maybe column. So depending on the kind of chart you want, a line or column chart would make sense. With the data from columns D to P, you may want to have a sparkline for each region here. So you might want to select this data, then Insert tab, then Sparkline. The data range, which has the data we want to show. All these cells here, then click OK. You might want to make some changes as before, and you may also want to highlight and change all the markers. Now you could make an adjustment in the column width here that changes the look of this. It could distort. If we make column Q wider, these lines tend to flatten out. If we make it narrower, we can accentuate the change. It's up to you to see what the best place is. If you insert the points, it may exaggerate it even more. So if we select these cells and return to the Design tab and put in markers, it might accentuate or de-accentuate it. There is also another option, but you probably won't use this. We could make the rows a bit taller, and that would give the same effect. So if you're using sparklines in the line option, you need to be aware of what happens if you make the column wider or narrower, or the row taller or shorter. A third option for the sparklines wouldn't be of much help to the first 2 examples, but the data on the right may work a bit better. This data contains negatives, and we'll put sparklines here and make the column wider. The sparkline option here is called win-loss. Note that in the preview the positives will be above the line and the negatives below the line. Insert the sparkline and the data range and click OK. At a glance you see what's positive and what's negative. It's also possible to do this below the data. Depending on the data you have, it's sometimes possible to have the data below or to the right. So insert, then choose the option win-loss. Same data as before and choose OK. You might want to insert an axis or other options to enhance this. If you want to use actual sparklines, the line option here can also do that. So select this data here and choose line on the Design tab, and you see the line entries. We might want to show the axis here, so choose axis, general axis type. How about showing the axis? We can also use the same feature if we switch this to column sparkline. So we can use the sparkline capability when we don't want fully blown charts. We just want to show simply, in a basic visual way, what's happening to data over a period of time by using Sparkline.